President Muhammadu Buhari's spokesperson, Femi Adesina, has been criticized for justifying the arrests and harassment made by the security operatives across the nation against the revolutionary protesters in the country. Of course, it was a very delicate one for the protesters, as they were maltreated, brutalized, and manhandled by the security operatives on Wednesday. Of course, the presidential spokesperson said the protest was a mere play, a child's play. That's what he said. But we have two guests joining us today on today's edition of Pundit, Ayodele Elijah, and a constant face on bystanders, David Sampson, who experienced observed the protest. Together, we'll be discussing this vital issue. I'll be right back.
In 1972, Alade Market was built, a prestigious market to meet varieties of clothing and household items. 34 years later, it was very necessary to rebuild this market. By 2016, the market was demolished. A temporary site was built for the construction of a new Alade shopping complex. Today, we announce the commencement of the construction of the new Alade shopping complex, situated on the same Allen Avenue, Ikeja. It's an 8-block of 42 shops, a total of 336 shops, in a conducive environment, enough car park, and all services attendant. The sizes of the shops are from 12 square meters to 60 square meters, located at the corner piece of Allen Avenue Junction. The ground shop rent goes for 75,000 naira per square meter, while the first floor rent goes for 50,000 naira per square meter. Early subscribers enjoy a 30% discount under the fixed rental income investment, while later subscribers enjoy an instrumental payment payable within 12 months.
Welcome back to the program. How are you doing, guys?
I'm fine, Mr. Kunle.
Mr. Elijah?
I'm great. I'm good to go. Despite the brouhaha in the country, it's a pleasure being here once again.
Nice one. David, you participated in that protest that took place on Wednesday in the country. I think yours was as Ikeja, precisely, right?
Yes.
Yeah, can you tell us your experience?
Yeah, my experience, the starting point was we took off from Allen Junction, Alade, inward, Ikeja. It was at Ikeja that we had a lot of security personnel that were being harassed, brutalized by some set of police officers. You have military men on ground. You have the Navy.
Also on ground. Wow.
Also on ground, just to come intimidate us for our voice to be heard. And
intimidate you or protect you?
They were not for us, they were against us. If you could recall that even the federal safety personnel were also on ground just to do what? Impound vehicles of the protesters. So see, it signals a wake-up call for us. And then to what you said concerning Femi Adesina is a laughable comment, because I'm not surprised. Most of the youths that are supposed to join us, they were just at home, busy watching BBN Niger. Something that could have at least ginger them just to come out, agitate for a better Nigeria, for a good governance. I was being Madandu. I think about last month I was sharing with you. NYC has still not paid me my Malawi up to today, because what? I am speaking against the government. Because what they said is that, David, we are paying you, and then again you cannot be against this government which is paying you. So one thing I want to say at this point is, Mr. Femi Adesina shouldn't think he will be there forever. He shouldn't think he will be there forever. If he's power drunk, surely after President Muhammadu Buhari's tenure, he will come back home. And then again, if his name could open doors for his own children, we don't have fathers whereby their names could open doors for us. So if he could afford a good medical facilities I cannot afford it. So that is why we troop out that day, just to agitate for a better governance. A society whereby everyone can have a sense of what belonging. That is what we are agitating for.
Okay.
And then again, I believe this shouldn't be just a just cost just for one person. I think everybody could just team up together and let's make this thing work out, because these people, these so-called so-called politicians, they have done what siphoned us a lot. They have made this country to the extent that even that was what this man said last month. Shehu Sani said a senator does what, take home at least 50 million every month. 50 million, while the House of Rep member takes home 35 million every month. So that, and then please, you have the same government who could not still pay 35,000 minimum wage in a particular country whereby senator earns above those who work very hard. And this money have been paid at the expense of the taxpayers. Must we continue with this trend? That is why I am appealing to every well-meaning Nigerians. On the 1st of October, let us come out en masse. Let our voice just be heard. Because President Muhammadu Buhari did same thing, I think 2014.
Okay.
When he came out, he protested against what? Bad governance. Yeah. Against what? Unemployment. Okay. Now, why is he now climbing down on those who want their voice just to be heard? Now, when you go to the streets of Nigerians, youth now mostly no longer have jobs. Every youth now does what? Sell what? You could see what happened at the newsstands today. Someone took, when we were reading the newspaper, someone to pickpocket there. Someone did that this morning because of what? Because he said later, bros, I want to go and eat.
Wow. Now, quickly to Mr. Elijah. I believe the revolutionary protest was staged to address certain issues in the country. We talk about insecurity, banditry, kidnapping. Now, which at the end of the day, the protest emanated to harassment and arrest of some protesters. Don't you think this is an infringement on human rights?
Once again, it's a pleasure having me here.
Okay.
This entity called Nigeria is gradually becoming an animal kingdom where human that they served being fairly treated as a citizen of a country are being dehumanized, are being brutalized, all in the name of their agitation for their fundamental human rights. Oh. The president, his wisdom should have a rethink before the deploying of security operatives
okay,
to go and clamp down on the protesters. You've been a protester at some point in this same country, even less than a year before you came to the seat of power as the president of the country. I'm waiting for the lawyers to give an interpretation clearly on the 1999 Constitution has been amended, if indeed it is written there that there shouldn't be a protest against either bad governance, insecurity,
okay,
failure of infrastructures, massive unemployment of the citizens of the country. If this could be interpreted, then I will align with the president that, oh, you have done right. But as it stands, where are we heading to? Is this a nation? Even though this is a nation, it's a failed nation. A nation where a citizen is no longer free to stand upon the freedom of speech being inserted in our constitution. What is freedom of speech? What are we sitting here discussing? What are we to justify from the... See, this presidential rascality and parliamentary inanity has to be stopped. If you were there to legislate, to see to the well-being of the citizen through the constitution, the constitutional provision does not provide for any of these people to stand against the protesters. Their voice deserved being heard at any given time as they so desire. Why should you deploy, for God's sake, fully armed military personnel from various arms of the military to go and brutalize the armless masses that calmly protest against the government failure to make the provisions needed that will make them to live like a citizen of their own country? This is condemnable in a territory. For Mr. Femi Adesina, it is a pity case.
It's a pity case.
It's a pity case. But for him, a man of his class, a man of his caliber, when it comes to journalism in Nigeria, he's a man I know for a very long time. Is it because you have got into the corridor of power? You have forgotten your base? Go and ask from the likes of Dr. Ruben Abati, a voice that many Nigerians waited for. If there's need for protest, he got to the seat of power. He forgot his background. The same part Mr. Femi Adesina is toying, and the end stage of it is total destruction of their personality, their credibility. It's been brought to question at the end of the day. Why should you call a protest a child play? I watched him on channel television calling a co-discussant a little boy. What a rude statement from a man of his class. What an underrated phrase that you are. If I had known that I would be brought in to discuss with a little boy like you, I wouldn't have come to debate. And I think he even insulted channel television that when you are bringing me here, let me know my co-debaters so I will know if I will be coming or not. Does it worth his position? I stand to be corrected, and I've seen this, and I'll continue to say it. They are there, they have forgotten their background, and they don't want what they are standing for.
Now David was present there. You witnessed the protest. Was it a peaceful one?
Yes, Mr. Mike Adekule, we had a very peaceful protest until the so-called security personnel came and disrupt everything. All what we were chanting for that day was just a good governance. No life was lost. Nobody caused any mayhem. Everybody, as you see, there was just what orderliness that day until when the police came on board and started tear gassing us.
Wow.
With no reason. That was why we were like, fine, okay, what? Okay, see. And then again, they said that, see, why don't we get the permit from the Lagos state government? Okay. We said already, we wrote to the, what's it called, to the, this thing, to the police officers there at Ikeja. And this man gave us the go-ahead to go with this protest. How now they came and start manhandling us, as in, sir, I think that was around past 2. We were being, as in, I was being arrested and then we were taken to Area F police station.
What time were you released?
We were released around past 6.
Past 6.
Yes, I think a man came and said, he just came to the cell and was like, who are these miscreants? That was the name. He tagged us. I was like, who is a man?
Hope it's not a police officer.
I don't know if he's a police officer. I think he was Lagos State.
Okay.
Tag. It was like, leave all these miscreants. Let them go to their base because most of them are just hungry. And then all we say is that a young man said, okay, I am not a miscreant. I am well schooled. I am well learned. So I am fighting for a better society. And what the man could say is that a better society might ask, leave all these people, let them go. That was how we were being released.
Now, looking at the statement that man made, he said they're hungry guys. Now, what does it bring to your memory as a Nigerian?
If indeed the protesters were hungry, what led to that? Because we have a state, a failed nation, a country that failed to make provision for the citizen. So when they protest, when they are hungry, it might resort to protest. But on a very good note, they were not hungry. They were exercising their fundamental human rights. I watched what they did to those protesters.
Wow.
You ambushed them with different kind of weapons.
They were even beaten.
They were beating. Some people were made to prostrate on the floor, beating them recklessly. When are we going to get it right? Protest is part of the tools needed to constructively turn the government to the right path for the betterment of the citizen, both at the moment and for a build-up for the generations to come.
Now let's quickly move back to the pioneer of the revolution now, protest, which is Omoyele Sowore. Now in 2019, Sowore contested under the platform of AAC. Yeah. Now, which if he eventually failed. Now, don't you think, because certain persons have alleged that Sowore has been doing this for his own selfish interest? To be sincere with you, I've had speculations on that. Now, don't you think Sowore is doing this as a build-up for 2023 ambition he has on that presidency?
For whatsoever reason, Omoyele Sowore is not a man that we, for any reason, need anything in Nigeria.
Okay.
If actually is fighting for himself, he could have gotten it on a platter of gold. He has been on that as far back as when he was in University of Lagos. He was a leading de facto during the struggle for June 12th,
okay,
even until 1998 when late Chief M.K. Abiola died. He was a leading voice that said the military people should not come to attend MKO's burial. What is he looking for? He's looking for a better Nigeria. He's looking for a country where things will be done rightly. So if anybody is saying that Sowore is doing that for a build-up ahead of 2023, that's their own perspective. But in my opinion, I can say this convincingly that it is far beyond 2023 presidential ambition. It is all about getting things rightly done in Nigeria.
Back to what you said, if Sowore was doing this for his own
selfish interest,
interest, I don't think Sowore is doing this for his own selfish interest. Sowore is not a pushover in this country. His name is well known across the globe, and then again, to some extent, I think he has a dual citizens. So if he even if he can't stay here in Nigeria, he can still locate abroad. So I think what this guy is trying to do, this guy has seen it all. He's trying to just agitate for what? A better society, whereby everybody can have sense of what? A belonging, whereby you can go to where any medical health facilities, and then you'll be taken care of. It is not a society whereby you go to lawsuit before you are being what? Admitted. You'll be asked to pay some certain amount of money. And then again, on getting there, they will tell you there's no drugs on the ground. Is that society you want? A society whereby once I'm done with school, I can easily get a job without knowing one Baba Saleh. That is what we are agitating for. A better society whereby you can at least seek for loan, as in a loan for a small scale business for them to boom the economy. But now see, what do you have? Reverse. It's the case. We have some set of people just milking
the
resources.
Yeah.
And then these people, they are very few. Once it's 2023, they will come to us, bamboozle us, bulldoze us, tell us all sort of lie. I can tell you, what's this man's name? Solomon Yayi.
Okay.
I campaigned for him. I was one of his campaign men. I campaigned for Yayi. Up till now, Yayi has not paid me. Yayi used us. We told everywhere in this Lagos state campaigning for what Yayi. Ever since Yayi won the election, Mr. Yayi has not even come back to like tell you, okay, my people, this is what I have been able to like achieve in the past couple of years. This is the bill I have sponsored in the house. Instead, Mr. Yayi, I called him some days back. Mr. Yayi was telling me, young man, I don't know you. He gave the phone to his PA. Because of what? Because he felt I was only disturbing him. Now, let me tell you something, Mr. Michael. I have a friend now. I have a friend who is currently serving now. The guy now is now working with what? Nigerian custom. Because what? His dad happens to be a top hierarchy in the system.
Wow.
And that was not supposed to be so. He said, you can control you want. That's not the kind of society I am agitating for. I am agitating for a better society whereby you can get a job based on merit, not you knowing Mr. A.
It's based on sentiments, you know.
That is it. That is why I had to like come out that day just to join my own voice with the voice of the youth. But now, please, what did you see? The youth are even more interested in watching BBN Naija, watching Team Kidway, doing sort of nonsense in the house. And then these are policies are being made. Bad policies have been made.
Now, Elijah, with the current challenges we face on protests in Nigeria, do you think this trend should continue or it should be paused for some times? No.
With the trend of events as it unfolds continually in Nigeria, when it comes to requesting for accountability or challenging our leaders to do the needful.
Okay.
We cannot afford to rest. Protest is not only in Nigeria, it is everywhere in the world. And where protests have been done, from those ones I've seen, the few ones I've experienced, the security agencies are always on ground to protect.
Just like the
citizens.
Floyd, you know.
But reverse is the case here. My brother, we are not getting it right. We cannot fold our hands and sit back, watching them destroying our futures, destroying our countries. Do we have any other country that we call ours? Even if we leave Nigeria for a greener pasture elsewhere, no place like home. Like this reggae legend, Lucky Dube in South Africa. No place like home. These are home, these are land, these are country. It belongs to us collectively. We must collectively put on the table our voices, our opinion to make it better.
All right.
Not for us alone, for generations to come.
Okay, we must collectively put on the table the rights for so many things to be achieved. Let's quickly go on this short break. In the house, we have Kunle. Kunle will be joining us soon on the issue, the saga in Edo State. I'll be right back. The drama in Edo State seems to be unending as different stories keep unfolding. Right here with me have Kunle and still on board Elijah Ayodele. Now, the election is quite around the corner and we have diverse stories coming up every day. Now, the impeachment and saga in Edo State is what's on board. Can you quickly do a review on it?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Mike.
Okay.
And I'm happy to be here to
welcome.
give my point on the... You see, election in Edo State is not the first that will be witnessing with violence, that will come with violence. I think I've witnessed election, I've been witnessing election in this country right from Shagari time. Then I was still, premature, I'll say then. What I notice is when it is time for election or campaign, who bear the brunt? Who bear the brunt? They are the youth. Because the unemployment we are clamoring for has been existing for long. And I'm really so sad the way I am now I'm talking to you.
Okay.
The youth life doesn't matter in this country today. Without the youth, Oshiomhole and Obaseki, Izeyamo and Obaseki, they are nobody to reckon with. because without the tools they will use to manipulate election, for thuggery reasons, for everything, you know. And I tell people, you see, two wrongs don't make it right, right? You Obaseki, now you are blaming godfatherism, putting blame on what's it called, Adam Oshamale, that is, you know, having a godfatherism relationship with you, and you don't want that. Now, same you, what are you doing to the House of Assembly members? You suspended how many? You suspended 7. I mean,
14.
14, okay.
14, and he had 10.
10.
Now, out of the 10 remaining, you still lost 3. So if your house is in order, why will all those things be happening?
Remaining 7.
Then you remember that 14 you suspended, they are representing
constituencies,
every,
yeah.
you know, constituency is represented in, you know, that means 14 constituency you suspended, and you deprive those guys, the community of those constituency, the rights to be, you know, to be represented in the house. That means they will lack social amenities, infrastructure. Maybe if they are every house, you know, house member proposing or lobbying for a project in his community, there is no house member for those 14.
14. Other benefits, no?
Other benefits for those 14 that the Obaseki suspended.
Wow.
So, and I don't know. What I'm just saying is, I pity the youth of this country. Because when you see them yesterday, they were the one that went to drop all these, I mean, the barbaric materials there that they said they want to renovate it, and a House of Assembly that has been there for how many years now, that Obaseki has been there. You know, it's, I mean, the why Western world will just be making laugh at us. And you now see the youth that has no future any longer, they are using them as tools to fight themselves. You know, you could remember what happened at the Oba Palace the other time.
Okay.
They said one captain also gave a bath to a bouncing baby boy, and they wanted to go and inform Oba. They were not aware that the PDP and the PDP too, they came in a convoy of governors, of their thugs, of their, you know, hooligans, and they came in, they caused havoc in that. Well, how we still have to tell our kings that they should be apolitical. They should not soil their hands in politics, because you should be the father of all.
Wow.
So,
But is Oba of Benin supporting anybody?
they were at sittings. When the late Oba was there, I could remember when Jonathan and his the PDP caucus was going.
Okay.
They were going there on a visit. He asked them, "You guys, when you are coming to my palace," same thing he did to the APC then. "When you come into my palace, before you enter put all this your political, what's it called?
Behind.
Garment, the political mindset behind, and I want to meet you guys as all my son, all my children, not as PDP or as APC."
Now, Elijah, looking at what is presently going on in that state, where we've had a whole lot of stories, and to be sincere with you, on daily basis, diverse stories are still, cropping up. Now, what factors do you think would hinder peaceful election in that state?
I cannot perhaps give a straightjacketed answer to that question.
Okay.
But with the look of things, I think maybe here last week or somewhere in another studio, I mentioned that we're in for serious trouble in Edo State. The Edo election is just about 44 days to go. And I have this to say. The infighting in Edo State is in this range, though not unusual in a circle of politicians without principles and ideas. If you have an idea of what to do with people, it shouldn't require taking their lives. The Edo State election is a battle of supremacy between Adams Oshiomhole and his estranged political godson, Godwin Obaseki. I've been expecting this drama for a very long time.
Oh.
When 24 House of Assembly members are elected across the 24 constituencies in Edo State, and you vehemently refused to inaugurate all of them, directly or indirectly, you have disenfranchised some certain constituencies from being part of the dividends of democracy from your government. Once a man is beating a drum and is feeling satisfied with the rhythm coming out of it, he should expect to dance until the same drum is beaten. This is a war drum beaten by Godwin Obaseki. He should be ready. In fact, this, simply put, a payback time, law of karma. If you look at the setup, you chase 14 elected members out. They were not your appointees. They were elected by their people to represent them for legislative duties in the state. And since July 2019, when you inaugurated them, these people were not representing their people. These 14 honorables. Now you have 10. The Oshimole faction has 14 lawmakers. Look at what happened yesterday. I've been expecting this. The speaker, when they were inaugurated, were comfortable with his people. Just last week, this man, the current newly elected deputy speaker of the House, Emmanuel Agbaje, from Edo Central, from Edo South, Odeonwo, visited his brother, Pastor Sage Yamo, the APC flag bearer. And there he promised, I am going to help you to win this election. He was in the company of one of his colleagues. It's only most I mention his name. Now, they were there, and for the 10 members to have discovered that the deputy governor, the former deputy governor, Roland Asoro, they impeached him for visiting Osage Izeyamo. He was impeached yesterday. Or no, on Wednesday. So yesterday, the 14 members converged. 3 added from 10 of Obaseki fashion to this making 17. In fact, to be candid with you, 19 House of Assembly members pledged to support Izeyamo. Only 17 showed up yesterday to carry out the impeachment. And if you look at the message that is being systemically passing across, it shows clearly with the visit to the Commissioner of Police and the DGDSS that what they did is not wrong. And may I even quickly add this?
Okay.
I might have possibly said it here before or somewhere else. The PDP camp is having problem, though I have no pity for any of the aspirants. Whosoever that win should lead the people of Edo for another 4 years. But as it stands, the problem will still continue. And I made bold to say this because Oshomole and Izeyamo wanted to give a good fight to Obaseki and make sure they kick him to touchline so that by September 19, he will be out of power. Now, I'm expecting more defection from PDP.
More drama.
More defection from PDP that will bring a kind of political brouhaha. The impeachment, if I may tell you, is Obaseki himself saved from being impeached? If you look at the comment of the new speaker, Victor Edoro, from ESA local government, he said they are ready to work with Obaseki till the end of his tenure around November 12th, if I'm not mistaken. weighing that statement, it is all encompassed. We are not going to impeach you, though we may impeach you. It isn't put that way, but though we may impeach you, they have the majority vote to carry out an impeachment against Obaseki. And do you know the implication?
What's the implication?
It simply means, according to the constitution, if a man occupied a political office and is being impeached, it is no longer eligible to vote and to be voted for. Automatically, PDP do not have a candidate in the election. And if you look at what the constitution says, as it stands today, the constitution in section 178 subsection 2, as amended in 1999, that an election to the office of a state governor must be conducted not earlier than 150 days and not later than 30 days. Also supported by section 25 subsection 8 of Electoral Act as amended 2010.
Now, Kunle, with all these happenings in Edo State, quite all right, this is a governor that had the full support of the people and the APC bigwigs. Now, this time around, they are all against him. I won't say all. Most of the stalwarts in APC are against him. Now, what are his chances in this September election?
Okay, now let me start from, let's even start from the, can you bite a finger that feeds you? Let's even assume they did not feed, they are not feeding, what's it called, Obaseki now. But the house, he used their shelter to become, he used their platform to become a governor. He became a governor under APC platform. Now, what I would have expected as a technocrat politician, as they called him, because he was one of this, he has a financial investment that has business to do with Dangote and maybe placing his shares, Dangote shares, and so let's leave that apart. Now, if I were this Obaseki, I would look at this same thing one of this former governor has done, told the line before. I'm talking of Ambode. Akinwumi Ambode,
yeah?
Yes, former governor of Lagos State. But you see, when you are silent in a battle, it's not you that will fight the battle, it's people. And time will come, you tell your followers, supporters, say, see, this battle you are fighting for me, it may consume me, right? That is what Obaseki failed to do. Now, the most respectable politician, one of the most respectable politicians you will have in APC today is Akinwumi Ambode, because he was denied of second term. He never,
cross-carpeted to another party. Yeah,
he never see anything bad about the APC. He was never rude to the Oshiomhole. You remember that it was still Oshiomhole that they had an exchange of this thing.
Words,
but constructive war, not gutter war.
Destructive
war. Now, I want to tell Edo people that there are some intruders that are causing all this. They want to set Edo on fire. And we know them. One I'm saying, I'm not saying anything about Obaseki or Izeya because they are all politicians, but the youth, because I'm always after, I think the project that is happening in America now, if we can replicate it, Black Lives Matter.
Can you see it right?
Then the youth life matter in this country. Now, a governor from another state in the South is giving Obaseki assurance that he's behind him. If it is talk for talk, if it is any, I don't know. And so the leader we have, we voted for. I hate politicians I can't stand them.
And Elijah, voting in Nigeria has gone beyond people's choice or people's favorite. Now, do you think the people's votes will be counting in the state based on what is currently transpiring between the two parties?
Edo State as a case study presently in Nigeria, the tendency is there that Edo election will result into serious crisis. The reason not far-fetched, maybe I should talk about the likely challenges in Edo State election as it approaches. We are going to experience a low voter turnout with the current wave of events in Edo State.
Not even due to the COVID-19 that
Not
is ravaging area.
just COVID-19 as an excuse. If you really want dying for, I have to consider some things before I will die for you.
Wow.
Why will I die unjustifiably? So there's going to be a likely low turnout of voters. Then vote buying, as usual, we have its place coming to this election. We will experience violence as usual. It's a Niger Delta state where everybody is always ready to be on fire. All may hold himself. Then court cases
To arise.
will arise. Not only that, we'll be expecting a conflicting judgments.
Wow.
Conflicting judgments after the election. Then don't forget, during the election, the likelihood of kidnapping of collation and returning officers is highly imminent. These are some of the things we should be expecting. And with all this, we cannot experience free, fair, credible election in Edo State.
Wow. Wow.
With all these primordial interests of the leading political parties, I mean APC and PDP, to govern Edo State at all costs, Edo election will come with serious tension as is already heightening. Edo election will come with serious imbroglio. It will come with threatenings. It will come with mass killings. If peradventure we experience any miscarriage in security architecture.
Yeah, your final word on Edo State.
My final word is the elder statesmen in Edo should come together
Okay.
and bring these two political warrior candidates together
Okay.
and talk to them.
Okay.
There is life after politics, and there will be Edo after this election. So they should come together and play a matured, civilized politics.
Okay.
I think they tasted life in abroad before, like the current governor Obaseki. I learned his code he went for his masters in UK or US then. So what can they apply? Just common sense that politics shouldn't be a do or die. Can't you just see what is happening between Republican and Democrat? Well, have you ever seen they can throw jabs at each other? But that will not lead to say this one, supporters, Democrat supporters attacking,
Republican, right?
And the point there is we need to move away from politics of bitterness.
Wow.
Say you are in a party A, so party B is in power now, so I cannot give advice to PDP, APC, or APC cannot give advice to PDP, because when two elephant fight, it's grass that will suffer. So I don't know why. And the problem I have now, I'm not too happy that I found myself, my family in this kind of failed nation we had now, because it's always. You talking? Sorry, I'm taking too long. Sorry, I have to just about Showore. You said we never, emphasize that the whole situation we gotten worse. We get to the worst stage like this. We knew how this Showore people, these same youths, are spoiling all around. It's what you want is what. This is the same guy that entered Unilag. He fought the system of cultism in Unilag. From there, he became a student union. Leader. From there, he moved on to the states. From there, he moved on to the national level, space. We were all part of his protest those days with Shegun, Najim Mayegun, Shegun Mayegun. Yeah, those ones were still even his. Then after him was Malcolm X. So we all know the trend. And then we were facing military then. It was we started from Babangida. Babangida must go. Later we enter Abacha must go. The military must go. So for me to still be around and be witnessing all this political legalism is so saddening.
Elijah, your final word on Edo State before we go.
I think I have to say this to not just Edo people, but the entire Nigerians. We are having ourselves in the eyes of the camera. People are watching us. And with political actors devising different means of eluding detections to their plan towards Edo election. Edo remain Edo State, and Edo will be Edo State. Now as it is, during the election, and after the election, come what may. The political gladiators and the leadership, the cultural leadership or traditional leadership in Edo State should call their people to order. They can't afford to set Edo on fire, because with the trend of things as it's been unfolded on daily basis, Edo is sitting on a gunpowder, which might likely blown off during the election. But don't forget, there must be an election in Edo State to avoid a constitutional crisis. Election must hold. A winner must emerge. Edo people remain one. They should seek for peace. Remember that they are brothers. Either you are from Benin's, either you are from the tribe of Esan, Owan, or Esako. Edo State remain one.
Just like what Elijah Ayodele has said, Edo remains Edo State. And after the election, Edo will still remain Edo State. And on this note, we say goodbye to you on today's edition of Pundits on Flip TV. Michael Adekunle is saying goodbye to you all. Thank you guys for coming. Kunle, thank you so much. Ayodele, thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
I won't go without applauding my guys behind the camera. Festus Oluwabukumi, the Fash Goddess herself, Ola Ibitoye, Femi Davis, always keeping it real with us. You can join us on our social media handles displayed on your screen. Join me on Facebook, Michael Temitayo Adekunle. Bye everyone.